Hello and welcome to Highbury Stadium for this evening's FA Youth Cup fourth round tie between Fleetwood Town and Southampton, both under 18s looking for that draw in the fifth round of the competition. Joining me this evening, and it's not an FA Cup tie without the man, my left-hand man this evening, Scott McNeil. Scott, how are things going with you?
Yes, all good, busy as ever, but obviously delighted to be joining you for the commentary for this fourth round tie. Really excited to see what tonight brings. Obviously a huge draw for us with Southampton being Category 1 Premier League. I think a tough assignment as well. Obviously the staff will have done the homework on Southampton, and tonight will be a really tough gig.
We thought Burnley was going to be a tough gig in terms of the opposition. It was a tough test with it only being a 1-0 difference, but this is going to be a side that are elite in the academy level. Yeah,
Southampton, they currently lie second, but listen, they're a Cat 1 club, Premier League club as well, and obviously within that comes the production of players as well that they've obviously been renowned for over the years. Gareth Bale, the standout one, Theo Walcott, and there'll be others. I know there's a young lad doing very well at the minute in the first team that's attracting a lot of attention. And just a good club, good setup, very good staff. Like I say, the staff have watched the videos and the highlights and the footage of them, and they're a good side.
Yeah, about just 6 minutes away from kick-off. As you can probably see on the feed, the mist and the fog has started to pour down on the Fylde coast inside Highbury Stadium, so hopefully that doesn't cause too many issues. Also joining us on the stream, I think for the first half anyway, is Toby Oliver. Joined the club in the summer. Toby, first of all, great to have you on. How things have you so far in your time at Fleetwood Town?
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to this, and also I think we've got a great game on our hands here, and it can be a very good test for the under 18s. And as we've seen, they've been doing very well to get themselves here, and I think we've just got a very good game. I'm really looking forward to it.
I can tell from the voice there. You've been part of FA Youth Cup. What does it mean to players to play in this competition?
Yeah, I think as like a scholar, it's one of the biggest games you're going to be playing in, and I think it just gives you that sort of experience, and the game actually means something, and just playing in it's an unbelievable feeling, and just everything around it. You get a proper good experience of what it's like, and gives you that sort of heads up for later on in your career if you go on to play. But yeah, I think it's very good.
Apologies there but you were part of that Blackpool side that got to Stamford Bridge. Great moment, and one that I'm sure you'll never forget.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. As I said, the experience of it, it sort of helps you like mature, and as growing up now, you've got them experiences under your belt, and you know what it's like. So you know what you're going to be coming up to, especially growing up, and if you're around the first team and stuff. You know what to expect, so it's very good, I think.
Yeah, definitely a competition. And Scott, we've had quite a few upsets in the FA Youth Cup here at Highbury Stadium. There could be one tonight, couldn't there?
Absolutely. Listen, it's a one-off game. It's almost, to a degree, a free hit for Fleetwood. Southampton will be expected to come here and win and perform as well. And I know Toby, having been developed at Manchester United, will know about the pressure of almost being expected to win. And we saw in the last round against Burnley, with the greatest respect, you have to be, full tilt. Everything has to be aligned for them. And Fleetwood have got this habit of producing performances in one-off situations.
We'll have a look at the team on the screen. If you join us on all the social channels this evening, we'll go with the Fleetwood Town 11, and then we'll go through the Southampton one as they come out on the pitch. So in goal, Ollie Belizia, 2, Raf Serino, 3, Leo Thompson, captain and number 4, Pele Smith. Number 5, Conor Horhy, he got the winning goal against Burnley in the last round here in FY7. In midfield, Riley Wilkinson, 7, Harvey Curry, 8, Sam Kendrick, which now his family were putting stuff on social media before on the club's channel, so that's great to see. 9, Mikey Lane, 10, Crispin McLean, and 11, Liam Roberts. Looking at the bench for the hosts, Giovanni Minopoli, Josh Eccles, Harry Elmore, Lucas Taylor, Jack and Jake Doherty, and Finn Hazelden. Scott's got his blanket next to me, keeping nice and warm. Not offering it to me and you, is he, Toby? But yeah, Toby, in terms of you've been at the club for a year, who's going to be the key player for Fleetwood tonight? Is it in that midfield area or at the back for you?
Yeah, I think key players to be looking out for is like Crispin and Pele, and they've had experiences with the first team, and I think they bring that down when they're coming back with the U18s. And also they're both just brilliant footballers, and they'll run the middle of the park. But I think they're two key players to be looking out for, I think.
Yeah, Scott, in terms of you, I know we'll come on to Southampton and the dangers they can pose shortly, but for Fleetwood, everyone's got to be on it tonight, hasn't it, if they're going to cause an upset?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's obviously very, very similar to the FA Cup for the under-18s, and you know, it's like when you watch the likes of Tamworth versus Tottenham, who George Morrison was involved with.
Yep.
They've got to be full tilt. They obviously have been players at some level, and the players that do it consistently week in, week out are the ones that end up in the top leagues. So for one night only, should we say, Fleetwood Town's players can aspire to get to a level to compete in Southampton. So yeah, of course it's a one-off game. I think that the key may be Liam Roberts.
Yep.
I know he's in a good spot. His delivery's been excellent, especially against Burnley in the last round, and he has the pace to hurt teams and the delivery and the quality to be able to create chances for us. But yeah, listen, it can come from anywhere because, like you say, everyone has to be on it. Riley Wilkinson, you know, who will have to cover the ground in midfield to give the other players the platform to produce as well, the likes of Pele, like Toby mentioned. So yeah, every single player's got to be playing well tonight.
Yeah, definitely does. The referees, you can only just see the referees due to the mist and fog, and I'm sure you'll be the same watching it on the stream as he blows the two captains together, both in their team huddles ready for kick-off, which is literally moments away. We'll go through the Southampton team. We've got Dylan Moody, who will wear the number 1 shirt. Number 2, Abdul Canola Matthews, wear number 2. 3, Tommy Dobson Ventura, he'll captain the side as well. 4, Jaden Moore. 5, Max Fry, 6, Jonathan Moses Cisse. 7, we have Nick Owe Cunley. 8, Ashton Daly. Excuse me, but worst time to ever get a cold. 9, Bailey De Pepper. 10, Thierry Hogarth Brown. And 11, Jay Robinson. So that is the Southampton 11. We'll come onto the bench very shortly. We are moments away from this. Toby, if you're in that huddle now, what are the emotions and how are you feeling as a player?
I think just get through the first 15 minutes. Obviously, you know, these are going to be very good on the ball and they're going to want to just play around. But I think Fleetwood are going to bring that other side to the game. They're going to run hard at him, they're going to press, and they'll battle. But I think in that huddle now, they're all just proud. Yeah. And we'll just be telling each other, just like, let's work for each other. But no, it's very good for them.
Yeah, Scott, we're moments away. The anticipation inside the stadium, you can feel it. There's a good crowd here. We've got parents and families to our left. We've got loads in the Parkside stand here, which you can't see on the camera. But hopefully it's just going to be a fantastic game. Two sides who go full throttle.
Yeah, of course, that's what you want at the end of the day. I mean, Fleetwood won't be too concerned how they get the victory. But listen, you hope for a good game, and you just hope that Fleetwood can find a way to victory tonight.
Yeah, if you can, we'll try and work out numbers and formations as a long switch across to Canola Matthews on this near side wearing the number 2 shirt. A bit of a loose pass in there to Dobson Ventura. But like I said, Toby said before, the visitors will be looking to keep that ball, try and make the pitch look as big as it can. But again, Fleetwood, Scott, like maybe different, just got to buy the time and wait for that right moment to counter and get on the front foot.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously that's what they did against Burnley. They were patient, and then obviously they jumped out into the press. You know, and I think it'll be similar tonight. They'll be very wary of, you know, Southampton pace and athleticism. Certainly you can see that from the profile of the players. But yeah, Fleetwood will they'll, listen, Mark Yates and Pondy and the rest of the staff will have done a lot of homework on Southampton before this game, so it's about executing a game plan as well.
Southampton done well there to break out, just over 1 minute gone in the game. Keeping possession, you can just see that quality on the ball in the early stages of this cup tie. Fleetwood just keeping the shape, and that was one thing, Toby, I don't know if you watched the last game, that Fleetwood kept the shape in key moments, didn't really give Burnley too many chances, and they're going to have to do that again tonight, aren't they? Yeah,
100%. I think last game they kept the shape very well, like you said. And I think that's just going to make Southampton tonight very hard to play through. As he did against Burnley, it was very hard for Burnley to get through. And I think that's one of the main things that actually helps them to go and get the victory, and hopefully that can help them tonight.
Yeah, Leo Thompson does well there to win the ball.
I was going to ask Toby, like, obviously when you are on paper the underdogs, and Southampton obviously have started with quite a lot of possession, do you start to get a little bit nervy, anxious that they're having a lot of the ball, you haven't got that first touch, or are you just thinking, listen, let's get the shape right and concentrate and not lose anything silly early on?
Yeah, 100%. As I said before, like, you want to get through the first 15 minutes. And obviously you know that they're going to have a lot of quality on the ball. But I think, like we said about the shape, if they're keeping the shape and they're doing the right things, then they've got nothing to worry about.
Southampton do well to come out of that side on this dugout area of Highbury Stadium, back into Daly, who drops deep in that pocket to try and dictate the quarterback role, which we see. It's a nice little flick and play by Southampton. It's through. It's a great strike by De Pepper, but superb save by Belizia.
Yeah, and obviously Ollie was very good in the last round against Burnley, and he's made a great save there. I remember him coming early for a corner, which instilled some confidence in the back line in the last round against Burnley, and he's just made a fantastic save there. He would have probably thought he was going to go far corner, go across him, but he's saved that very smartly, which was down to his positioning.
Yeah, I think he's gone for more power to try and catch the goalkeeper out, but it will be a corner for the visitors, wearing that lime green kit of theirs. Fleetwood in their red, white and red, if you can see on the stream. Ball back towards that far post. Don't win the first header of the Fleetwood, but again, Ollie does superbly well there to collect the ball.
I'm just slightly concerned about the colour of Southampton's jersey to our goalkeeper's colour as well.
I was going to say the same. I'm surprised the referees allowed a similar kit clash, shall we say. Long ball over the top. Just under 4 minutes gone in this game. Curry just gets the ball first, and Rafa, player we spoke to pre-game, enjoying that role in the back three, but it's a loose one there, which Southampton will look to capitalise on. Power, strength to drive through the Fleetwood back line, but
did enough, Pelly. Did enough,
Pelly. And Connor as well there. Toby did well to get on the cover there and allow Southampton, or not allow Southampton to get the ball forward.
Yeah, I think that's something Connor's really good at. We're playing with him as well. He's always around you, and you can trust him. You know that he's going to be covered around. So anything, if it goes in behind you, you know Connor's going to be there to sweep it up, but if not, just affect the play.
Oh, Raf's got caught short again. It's 9. De Pepper now on the ball, looking to try and get on his right foot. It's a good defending so far. Left-footed strike at goal, and it's a superb save by Belizia between the sticks. That's Scott. That's 2 now in the space of 2 minutes.
And do you know something? The second one looks better than the first, and the first was pretty good. Really down low to his right. Again, I think his position was great, but I'm just slightly concerned. Rafa just seems to be a little bit hesitant, and he needs to be switched on, because they obviously have produced 2 chances and 2 shots on goal out of a little bit of what we may consider our mistakes.
Ball into the near post. It's flicked on by Fleetwood head, back across goal. One that a red shirt needs to get on the end, but it falls out to Robinson now. Goes back out to the left-hand side, looking for that reverse pass, which Fleetwood did a few times against Burnley. It's come off for the visitors, all the way back into their men. A Cruyff turn, which famous in one of the World Cups. Guess Scott, you might have been watching that.
74, yeah. 1974. Against
Netherlands
Holland versus Sweden.
It's amazing that one bit of trickery can stick with one player, one of the greats in the game of football. Any moves after you, Scott? No.
I don't think so. Maybe a few shuffles on the dance floor.
Toby, yourself, anything? No?
No moves for me.
Southampton enjoying a bit of possession here. Fleetwood just putting a bit of press on, but it's a crossfield pass into number 4, Moore, who picks out his teammate on this near side. A bit of trickery. Ball into that middle. They've looked a few times in there, but again, good defending. Fleetwood try and play their way through with Lane. Ball into the channels, which Fleetwood tried to get onto with Sam Kendrick, but it's a free kick to the visitors.
I think that's a clear tactic. Would you agree, Toby, where they're obviously trying to come out wide, especially down the right-hand side in front of us, and then they come inside and get into the front man and work off that with some nice little cute passes. Yeah,
100%. I think they're switching it quite a lot, and I think once they switched it, it opens space on the other side of the pitch. And once they get in there, that's when they can do the little cute passes, as you said, and it gets them in and around the box.
7 minutes gone into play. Teammates' feet on the far side as well to roll, but I think it was a Fleetwood. Didn't see from this angle a touch from a player in red, but it'll be a Fleetwood throw-in. Don't need to do anything stupid, which Pele just goes back to his teammates at the back, and Fleetwood looking to do what Southampton do and play out, but Belizia goes long to find Kendrick, but he can't win the first header, which Smith gets onto the next one. We're 7.5 minutes into this game, and you have to say that Southampton had the 2 best chances so far, and that's a good tackle there by, I think it was Harvey Curry on this far side again twice, as he try and break forward. Everyone's got to be on the game. Into Lane on this middle, it just loses a touch there, but it falls for the striker. He's a left foot striker. Goal! It's just over the crossbar. 8 minutes gone, but Toby, that's better from Fleetwood.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's where we can hurt them. They like to take a lot of players forward when they're attacking, and I think if we can attack at them fast and counter, we can hurt them.
I think that'll be key tonight. That obviously Harvey Curry took the chance there to win the tackle. Obviously it broke for Sam Kendrick. He plays quickly forward into Mikey Lane. I think Mikey Lane and Liam Roberts were having a little discussion there. I think Liam thinks he should have squared it to him for him to run onto, but he was wide, and I think Mikey's a striker, and knowing Mikey, he's got to shoot from there. I know it's on his left foot, but I understand. I'd be more disappointed if Mikey wouldn't have took the shot, and obviously he's not executed it, but listen, it was a chance for Fleetwood. They'll take some confidence from that.
Again, superb tackle there from Jorge to De Pepper. Not allowed De Pepper time on the ball, and it's a chance for Fleetwood to break on the far side. Ball into the box. Good clearance there by the number 3 captain, Dobson Ventura. But Fleetwood pick up the ball with Curry on that side, just in line with the 18-yard box. Doesn't need to foul him there. He can just allow him to go back and force that mistake if he can do, which he did. But nice back heel back to his teammate. Fleetwood pick up the second ball in there. Can he get out of that tight area? And they've goal kick maybe. I thought they might have won a corner, but yeah, it's got a bit better from Fleetwood in the last few minutes.
I agree, yeah, they've been patient, like what Toby spoke about, trying to just get through that first 15 minutes, got through the first 10, and then they've just had a little bit of their own possession, short-lived, but listen, they created a chance, and they obviously nearly won a corner there, so yeah, they'll be quite content at the minute, Fleetwood. They'll have seen the danger as well that Southampton pose, so yeah, all in all, not a bad first 10 minutes.
As you can imagine, Southampton enjoying the lion's share of possession in the opening 10 minutes of this FA Youth Cup 4th round tie.
I think as a defender there though, Toby, if you're Connor or Rafa or Leo or Harvey there, you're quite content where they've had the ball, aren't you? Obviously they're not massively hurting us when they've got the ball in those areas.
Yeah, I totally agree. Me being a defender myself, if they're playing around the back, then it's not really hurting us, as you said. And they want to carry on doing it. You're just obviously shuffling.
Yeah.
But as long as everyone's shuffling together and you're keeping it tight, then they're not really going to get anywhere. So it's not hurting us at all.
Just coming back to Toby something. When their number 7, Oni Cunley, goes in that area, as a central defender, do you go in there and leave space open, or do you think it's worth just holding off? Because I guess if you allow him to turn, then there's probably more danger.
Yeah, it all depends. Depends if the 9 wants to make the running behind while he's dropping in, then there's just got to be communication. If you're going to go in, make sure Connor's covering round, and you've got that cover.
Oh, it does superbly well there. Does Curry to get that touch away, because it looked like he was having a free shot at goal, but again, good move round from the Saints there, Scott, down this right-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, they've if you like, shown their teeth. They've shown what they've got. You know, even when they walked out onto the pitch before the game and they were in the tracksuits, they looked fantastic athletic profiles. And I was going to say to you, Toby, as well, and probably come back to it after this corner, but I know that you mentioned you're a centre-back defender, but you're a converted centre-back, aren't you? So your development came. We'll come to it after this corner, but I'm quite interested in that.
Corner for the Saints into the area. It's headed by a green, is it green, yellow? I don't know what you got, lime. But a chance here, the potential to go forward through with Harvey Curry. Just, again, good recovery from their number 6, Moses Cisse.
Yeah, so the conversion came, didn't it? So how did that come about, Toby?
Yeah, so I weren't always a defender. I played in centre mid for a while. And then I had a game in centre back and filled in if one of the centre backs was injured, and I filled in and I ended up playing really well. And obviously I've got a good size to me.
Yep.
And the coaches were having me there, and I enjoyed playing in the position. So I sort of slowly just faded into it.
Do you think that helped you that you'd played centre, more of a holding midfielder, and sort of like that helped you when you made that transition?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, to be centre midfielders are obviously known to be good on the ball, and I like to think I'm good on the ball as well. And it also helps me understand the centre mids and how hard it is to play in there. So if things go wrong for them, then I know where they're coming from.
Yeah, very interesting. Because obviously we look at most players, I'm not saying they all do, but a lot of players that get the chance with the first team, it tends to be not in their primary position, should we say. I mean, obviously CJ being the example, who's obviously gone to Peterborough now, but CJ came in as a midfielder and pretty much played wide right, wide left, false 9 before going into the first team as a right back. So I think it's fantastic that you've got that in your locker, Toby, that you can play different positions. Yeah,
I totally agree. Like you said, going into first team, you're not always going to be playing in your position, but I think you just got to take those chances. And getting to this age now as well, you sort of have an idea of every position and how to play there. So you just give your all.
Chance for Southampton to drive forward. Matthews tries to win the ball. It's a loose one, which he's going to give the goal kick, I think. But it was a bit rash by the Southampton right back on that one. But a chance for Fleetwood to get hold of the ball. Apologies if the screen is moving. Just having some technical issues, so just bear with us. That will make sure it's right for everyone who's watching this stream. And it's going to be a Fleetwood goal kick with 14 minutes on the clock. And we'll try and Fleetwood still looking for that shot on target. We've had Mikey Lane's left-footed effort over the bar, but Scott, I'll come to you.
Yeah, I was going to mention, obviously, Ollie Belisa, that obviously did well in the last round and has started very well this evening. He's had 3 loans this. Oh, it's brilliant by Mikey Lane.
Mikey Lane is trying to get the ball out. He's got to maybe go wide if he can, but the ball's played. Ball across the box. It looks like it must have got a touch. We can't tell from this angle.
Yeah. Good play from Mikey Lane. But yeah, obviously Ollie Belisa, he's had 3 loans in 3 different leagues this year, which is obviously fantastic for his. I know you've had some loans, Toby. And our academy manager, Jack Higgins, is brilliant, almost magical in placing players at certain clubs and gaining the trust of the non-league circles with the Fleetwood Town players. And I know Ollie Belisa's had different, clubs in different levels to give him that, that all-round view of how it looks in non-league as well. So brilliant from Jack, that.
Corner for Fleetwood, hit towards Sereno. Ball's bouncing around and Curry gets his head towards the goal, but it's going to be a fast break by the visitors. It's 2-on-1 if Thompson can get around, but it's a superb touch by De Pepper. Ball across the box.
Brilliant Riley Wilkinson recovery.
He does superbly well. Fleetwood pick up the ball now. McLean, he's the one for Fleetwood that will be looking to get on the ball as well as this man, Liam Roberts. Dink pass, but it's very unlucky there with a touch off the legs. But again, there's probably need to see more of Crispin in this game, Scott.
Yeah, we want to get him on the ball. Obviously, Toby mentioned him as a player that we would consider who can make things happen for us. A danger when he's in possession. Very intelligent. But I was really impressed with young Riley Wilkinson then. Fantastic recovery all the way down the centre of the pitch. And obviously cleared the cross and Obviously the 9 then, great first touch, and then that burst of pace was fantastic, wasn't it, from the 9?
Yeah, he did superbly well. Fleetwood with a throw-in deep inside Southampton's half. 16 minutes played. Thanks for joining us on all the social media channels that it's live on. And a shout out to our sponsor Ruby Energy for the game this evening. The club main sponsors. Goal kick to Southampton, 14.5 on the clock. A bit of movement on the bench from either side, warming up down here.
Yeah.
But if you've got any comments, do leave them. We'll try and read as many out as we can on all the channels and make it as interactive as possible. Toby, you've been here a few months now. How are you enjoying life at Fleetwood Town?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. Really enjoying my football here. After coming from Blackpool, I think I had a good first year scholar there, but second year I started to kind of fall out of love with football almost, and was down. And then I came into Fleetwood and it's really got me back up and loving it. And I think that just goes to the staff. And coming to Fleetwood, I've realised like what all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and stuff. So no, yeah, I'm absolutely loving it.
And how did you find your long spell that you went on, Toby? How did you find that was the experience of that?
Yeah, very good. I think for young players going on loan, it's great. You're getting that experience playing against men and getting the physical side of it, and also you see a different side of football. You might play longer, and it'd be less passes.
Yeah.
And for a centre back, I think it's very good for me now, getting that physical side of the game. But no, for young players, I think it's class.
Yeah, I was just going to say as well, there'll be a method in Jack's madness. There usually is. Yeah, Jack, what's Jack's objective for you? What's he said's the key thing when you go on loan? What's it to develop?
He just wants me to develop my talking and getting the bite to the talking, he says. So he wants me to be demanding, and obviously it's very important for a centre back, and also being aggressive on the front foot. And because the league I'm playing in is a lot of long balls and you're playing against big strikers, it really helps you develop that side of coming winning headers and getting the physical side.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a fight.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously I've watched you a lot and did try and sign you once upon a time, but we got there eventually. But I always thought that you almost led silently. You were obviously a very, very good footballer. And even when I watched you in the Youth Cup for Blackpool at Chorley against Bolton, I remember watching you that night and doing a report on you. And obviously without the communicating, which we understand why you need, you could see that you knew where to be without communicating. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I think I've got a good understanding of the game, and I can read the game very well.
Agree.
But I think if I can bring a voice to that, then it's going to step it even higher, and I can also get bodies around me, and if players might not know where to be as good as well as I do, but if I bring the voice, then I'm able to tell them and get them round.
And how's the off the pitch? How's the living on your own going?
Yeah, it's very different. Obviously, as a scholar, you have a digs family, and you get all your teas made for you and your washing and stuff. But I think living on your own, it just helps you mature. And when you're maturing off the pitch, I think it really helps you on the pitch as well.
Yeah, agree. Every credit to you, Toby. It's not easy living on your own, especially when you're young, because most kids your age will be still living with their parents. And obviously there's temptations, isn't there? And obviously you can't go into those temptations because you're a professional athlete, and obviously you're trying to climb the ladder of the football pyramid, etc. So even within the club, every credit for that. Fleetwood just starting to, I feel, get a little bit more involved in the game, Sam.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're just getting that foot on, making it difficult for Southampton. Maybe showing them a little bit too much respect in the opening 10 minutes. But it's, obviously the fog's gone, the mist gone from Highbury, which is good. We can actually see players' shirts numbers, which is key. But again, Connor just reading reading the game really well there. And again, you can just see what Southampton are trying to do. The two midfield keep dropping deep, don't they? Try and get on the ball and leave the high forward press against Fleetwood. So it's going to be an interesting battle. And that game of chess, isn't it, where you try and just pull the pieces and try and get your players into pockets of space to try and exploit. But yeah, it's got a feel of a really good cup tie with just 21 minutes gone on the clock. Still goalless between the two sides. But it is Southampton on the ball with Matthews. Sorry, it's not Matthews actually. It's number 7 on the ball. As he looks to drive forward, he's got Matthews to his right, who doesn't get on it, but it's going to be a free kick to Southampton, just inside Fleetwood's half.
I'll just obviously ask Toby this, but young Leo Thompson there comes all the way with the 7 and then gets turned, and you want him to keep him going the other way, don't you, as a central defender? Just keep pushing him back the other way, whereas he's just got the turn on him. Yeah,
definitely. I think it's too tight to him. I think he just needs to keep an arm's length and just keep him going back. Yeah. And if he's going back, then he's not going to cause any harm.
And with Fleetwood having a back 3, that will open up a little channel for Southampton to run into as well, won't it?
Yeah, but I think if you've got, like you say, you've got Robbo there, and he's got a very good game understanding, and Connor as well, and they'll notice that and they'll cover in for him.
Talking of one Connor to another, Connor Teal's watching the stream on YouTube. Teal's, yeah.
Great lad.
I think he just does it for a shout out because he did it in the Burnley game as well. But yeah, I hope everything's good, Connor.
Yes. Send my regards to you, young Teal.
Scott Riley's someone, Wilkinson, who's been instrumental in the under-18s and stepping up to the 21s on the occasions this season. How important is his role going to be in the squad today? We talk about Smith and McLean, but Wilkinson just offers something different, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I mentioned it before the game, and he's a local boy, which is fantastic. I remember when we brought him in at under-12s. On his trial, and then obviously went through the age groups, and listen, it was a tough time for him at 15, 16s, and he eventually got over the line for his scholarship, and what a decisions that has been. I mean, we almost as a staff now look back and go, what were we debating with him? Do you know what I mean? Because his energy, his hard work, his selflessness, great kid, great character, and yeah, like you say, he's I don't want to sort of come across the wrong way, but he is one of those that your team needs a Riley Wilkinson. You know, the other players will. You love players like that, don't you, Toby? The players that do the kind of, the unsung hero bit.
Yeah, definitely. Like in the under-21s, we've obviously got Owen Devonport, who's one of the biggest characters in the changing rooms. And I think Riley takes that to the under-18s. He's a very good character, and he's been in and around us, and you can see that. He's also a character around us, which surprised me quite a lot. But I think Riley's one of them players, you know what you're going to get from him. You know he's going to be working his hardest.
Yeah, and obviously I know he's had fantastic support from his family, so I know they'll be watching, or they'll be here probably, so shout out to his parents. And I know how sort of tough that journey was when it got to the 16s and the crunch time, and delighted for him. And he's more than repaying this football club for that decision.
24-17 on the clock, throwing for Fleetwood deep inside their half, which Thompson will take. Again, what you can see from Southampton, Scott, they're not, even though it's early stages, they're happy to go back and just keep the possession of the ball and just wait for that right opening, aren't they?
100%, and listen, let's be clear, they'll be used to having a lot of the ball. There'll be no panic from them right now. They're enjoying possession, they're probing, they're looking at things, they're working things out around Fleetwood's shape out of possession. So yeah, they'll be sort of like trying different things as well, which obviously you've just seen there with them going longer centrally. They're intelligent players. They will try things. And like I said, they're more than comfortable keeping possession for longer periods of time.
Toby, just as a defender's point of view here, when they're used to doing short passes and then the other one goes long, does that make you think about what's going to happen next? Do you have to adjust the decision making? Yeah,
with a team like this that like to play little passes and stuff, it sort of surprises you, but you've got to be switched onto it. Because they like to do these little passes, they will mix it up every now and then. They might go long. And as we're seeing in the first 25 minutes, some of the forward...
It's a fantastic run by the two. I know he didn't quite control it, but he's gone from out to in there on the blind side of, I think it was Leo. A great run by the fullback.
Kendrick tries to flip the ball on there, but it's Southampton who collect the ball just again, happy to get in their shape, get in their positions. And again, you keep seeing the 7 and his teammate on the opposite side making those runs in behind to then allow that space down the channels. As it's number 4, Moore, who has the ball, just waiting for a red shirt to come towards him to allow that gap to open up.
What I was going to ask Toby, while there's a little bit of a sort of like possession from Southampton before the break, is kind of like, what have you learnt with us? And who's taught you this? So what have you learnt since you've come in? I know, listen, you're very well educated as a footballer, having a fantastic foundation at Manchester United, obviously one of the biggest clubs in the world, and incredible academy. But yeah, what have you learnt since you've been with us, and who's kind of been the teacher for you?
I think I said to Jack not long ago, a big thing that I've took from Fleetwood is like having standards off the pitch goes onto the pitch and helps with your performances, and that's one of the biggest things I've realised since coming into Fleetwood. And there's 2 people that's helped me with that, and it's Owen and Jono, and living with them, and both of them got such high standards, and it's helped my standards go up. And I've also noticed, from my standards going up off the pitch, my performances have gone up as well.
Yeah, and I think that's testament to Fleetwood's environment and the academy environment in terms of standards off the pitch, because obviously yourself, Jono and Owen Davenport, have obviously been at the club for some time now, but they didn't come all the way through because they're not local lads. Obviously Owen was at Accrington, and Will Johnson we got from essentially grassroots, so for them to come in and understand the level of standards that's required is testament to the staff. So it's a really good point, that, Toby. So it's a little bit, feels like a little bit like a standoff in terms of they're having a lot of possession, we need something to happen. Oh, well done, Riley.
I thought he might have given a potential foul for the first niggle,
just
but
needs to break for us.
Yeah, win those.
Some little things need to break for us.
Battles as they try and break forward now.
Well done, Leo.
On Kinley tries to get forward, but again, superb defending by Fleetwood. It's Matthews now who's got the ball on this near side. A bit of movement from his teammate. There's a push in the back there, which the referee will just blow his whistle for the number 2 right back to take the throw in it again. James Moore says, great comments, chaps, loving it. It's sunny down in Portsmouth, so yeah.
Paddy Lane country now, that.
Yeah, Paddy Lane. Moved to Portsmouth a few years back and helped guide them back to the Championship after years of struggle in League One. Oh, it's a bit of a wayward clearance by Thompson, and it's a chance for Southampton to put the ball into the box, and it's one that Ollie does well.
Smith, that stuck to the task, gets a block in, stops the cross, and obviously it just ricochets nicely into Belize's arms.
So it's interesting when you guys are talking to actually look at the game, switch it. They've got the number 2 and number 7 on this right-hand side to really drive at Roberts and also Thompson as well. So it's key, isn't it? We said before, discipline's going to be important for Fleetwood, and so far they're sticking to that task.
Yes.
Ooh, it's a chance which Curry has to get there first to clear his line. It's not sticking, which Fry gets to first on the opposite side, and it's Robinson with the ball.
And that's going to be key when we do win it, like Harvey won it before, and just then we've got to be able to build from it. We can't keep turning it over, and we've just done that.
Ollie Kinley on the side fires it into the box, but it's one that Thompson deals with into Lane's feet. Just
good, Mikey.
Inside
buy a little free kick. Just relax. Buy a free kick. Because ultimately, Toby, like I was just saying there, we've rushed that. We've rushed it, and look.
Is that when? Sorry, I'm going to come back to your thing. Is that where maybe side's getting a little bit frustrated that they think they have to rush things? Oh, anyway.
No, I think they just need to take the sting out of the game and just calm down.
I agree.
And I think once they've got hold of the ball, they need to just secure it, get a couple passes in, and grow into the game.
Well done, Riley, again.
Kendrick with the ball. It's wayward, overhit, and out for a goal kick for Southampton. And again, they've been a little bit too naive in those areas of the pitch where in previous games, whether it's due to confidence and getting the early goal, that Fleetwood haven't quite settled into the
and sometimes if you don't have a lot of possession, when you do get it, you're not quite used to getting, they're obviously comfortable now. They've all had touches, they've all rotated. We're still feeling our way into the game when we get the ball. So Sam Kendrick there, he's not had a lot of the ball to his feet, so he gets that, and it's his first one, and obviously it's not got the right quality. They're the things that need to happen for Fleetwood. They'll pinch that.
It's a chance for Fleetwood. Kendrick in the box, but it's
well done,
superb
Sam
defending
Kendrick,
by
unlucky.
the skipper in Dobson Ventura, and it's still in.
They defended that well, to be fair to them.
Yeah, that was against a chance. Ooh, it looked a bit reckless there by
Jorge,
but I think
you'll love that, won't you, Toby?
Yeah, I think he's got away with one there, but I don't mind it.
They played well there, Fleetwood.
You would say that, Toby, as well, being a centre half. Ball into the box. It's one that Dylan Moody picks up, and the referee's is going to stop it with 32 minutes on the clock for the player down on the far side, resulting from the follow-through, I think, from Jorge.
That last 5 minutes was okay for Fleetwood. They'll take another little bit of comfort. The half an hour in, they've had a lot of the ball. Ollie's made 2 good saves, which, in Roy Keane's words, that's his job. And Fleetwood have just had a couple of moments, and they've kept the shape well, haven't they, out of possession as well, Toby?
Yeah, they're making it hard for them. They don't look like they're in a rush, but I think that's credit to Fleetwood. They're keeping the shape very well and making it hard for them to play through. Yeah,
just a word on Belizia, Scott. He's had 3 loans this season in the North West Counties and Northern Premier League. For such a young goalkeeper, that's invaluable experience to go out and get that, and again he's developing day in day out with the coaching staff here as well.
Yeah, agree. And like I said to you before, Jack Higgins has revolutionised how this club has loaned players out. I know he put some stats on LinkedIn not long ago. It was absolutely incredible. It was over 100, and he's massively built up a network of trust in non-league circles, where they know that these players will be good players to have on loan. I recently attended a game myself to watch a player who was man of the match on the day, and you're delighted that they go out and obviously show the right standards and the right level of performance, and not think, I'm going out on loan. There's a real method behind it. Jack should take a lot of credit for that, like I mentioned earlier. And Ollie's obviously tried different things, and it's fantastic. And I know Jack's keen over the Christmas period was to get them out on loan, don't have them almost going away for a little break, and get them out on loan. I know Dan and Francis, someone that Toby will know very well, went on loan to a club Derby way, obviously where he originates from. Farnborough, was it? Yeah. So he went there, and like I said, there's nowhere really off limits. But and if you look at the lads who've been on loan, have had successful loan periods, they've come back, and it's done the power of good. George Morrison obviously was at Kings Lynn last year. Now he's at Tamworth, and then he gets a fantastic break by playing against Tottenham at the weekend, and playing against the likes of Son and Maddison, and really understanding. I had a brief chat with him today around about people thinking James Maddison's not the most athletic and the quick. George said he was absolutely so strong and robust. And obviously, Toby, when you play against top-level players that we're used to watching, you don't realise till you're up against them that the qualities that they have.
Yeah, I totally agree. After watching the game, Tamworth v Spurs, you see the quality that they've got, but you don't quite understand it. And then after speaking to George, asking his experience and how he found it and stuff, he said it's completely different when you're actually against them on the pitch in real life, and you realise the quality that they have, and you understand why they are.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree, and fantastic. And again, obviously the FA Cup over the weekend saw quite a lot of Fleetwood Academy products playing. Obviously Billy Crelling for Accrington Stanley on loan from Everton, and obviously Chris Clark and Cian Hayes, and playing for Peterborough against Everton. I know that Cian, put in a good performance. So fantastic work, and we wish these boys well and thank them for the part they played in the academy.
It's a good ball in the box there by McLean. Just gets a yard of space, maybe not his preferred foot, but a lot of trickery to get around. I think he's bow-footed, actually.
I'm delighted we've got a corner after the last round. I'm wondering what's
up the sleeve
could come out of the hat.
Changing kick taker. Normally it would be McLean, but it's going to be Smith, who signed a long-term deal with the club in recent weeks, a month, should we say? It was signed months ago.
Fantastic for Pellet and his family.
Yeah, very supportive the times I've met them as well. But it's going to be a Fleetwood corner. Just comes to 37, dinks into the far post. No Fleetwood body there, but it's not the best header, which Hawley gets on the end of. Fleetwood chances! Cross goal. Looks like Sereno with the effort towards the end. And 2 goals in the competition, Scott. Probably expect the net to go there.
Well, it's one of them. I think that, Toby will have an opinion on it, but when the header went back in, I didn't know whether Rafa was going to leave it for a corner, but then he thought, hey, this is a chance. And it was almost like he hooked it back rather than got an executed strike on it. So I'd have to watch it back, but I'm not sure what Toby thinks. But
no, I agree. It also looks like he's second guessed. He weren't totally agreed with what he was going to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if you watched it on the stream, we've got replays on the key moments. But going back to something that you were talking about, Jack, some of his stuff on LinkedIn. This year alone, 4 academy players developed. I'll probably come back to that. But referee's done very well there to bring it back for the first foul, because the pass was impeded there.
Take a bow, Dean. Well done.
Back to some of the stats. 4 academy developed players make their EFL debuts in League 1 and League 2. 3 academy developed players bought by League 1 clubs who are now featuring on a regular basis, and 10 academy developed players left the club elsewhere to secure professional contracts. So it's again a fantastic one. But ball driven into the box, and it's great defending by Southampton's number 6, Jonathan Moses Cisse.
And like I said before, and I probably am repeating myself, but he has a tough job, Jack, and I know he won't want me to say this, but he's a massive driving force behind that, and he should take a lot of credit for how he's revolutionised the kind of attitude towards loans of players from this football club. So, big up to him for that.
38-17 on the clock. Fleetwood looking to do something worked on the training ground, but it's pulled into the near post. It's headed off the post by his own player there, which, again, I think that was a clever... Whether that was off the training ground, because he looked like he was going to play it short. There's no back lift on the cross, but it's a very wayward header by the defender. Probably could have cleared it with his feet, but he's already gone down with his head. But
and I don't know whether, again, Toby sometimes has the keeper shouted, and then he's tried to move out of the way of heading it. I don't know. We'd have to watch it back again.
Again, Toby, that's where the communication side of football comes in. If you're not talking on the pitch, then things like that can happen.
It is massive, especially from the keeper there. I think he's got to have a big shout, and if he's got the area to come out and come and get it, he's got to come and collect it, but there's got to be a shout to let his defenders know.
Yeah, so definitely. How many games have you played for us now, Toby? Are we getting toward... Oh, well played. Well played.
Shouts to Fleetwood. It's just over the crossbar.
Lovely move.
Superbly. I think it was Lane with the effort, but the link-up play there was great.
Yeah, fantastic. And again, they moved the ball quickly there, Fleetwood. So obviously within that can create chances and a little bit of hesitancy in the Southampton backline. But yeah, a great set, and Lane obviously just off target with the left-footed strike. That's 2 now. But again, if you're going on chances, Fleetwood have probably had as many as Southampton now, even though they've had quite a lot of possession, which links into what me and Toby were talking about before. Sometimes you're quite happy for them to have that ball in certain areas.
Fleetwood needs to watch on the edge of the box here. It's a chance. He cuts, turns, left-footed strike. It's a great initial save. Fleetwood have to clear the lines. It's Matthews with a right-footed strike into the stands of the Memorial at Highbury. But it's got a proper cut feel to this now, hasn't it, Toby?
Yeah, 100%. I've just seen Ollie there celebrating by himself for a great save. And I think that's where the loans come in. He's getting that experience of these games where 3 points means everything, and it just shows the passion that he's got.
Yeah, I think Ollie believes he's someone that's really come on leaps and bounds at this football club in the second year of his scholarship. Obviously performances and off the pitch as well as a person. But yeah, a great save there, right? So he should celebrate. But again, snatching at the second chance, the full-back, who I've really been impressed with the two, massively impressed with him. Southampton, you would expect them to have very good players, and they have, but the two's really caught my eye along with the 9. yeah, he snatched at the chance there. Listen, these are the things, as we know from watching the FA Cup since we were kids, these are the things that need to happen on a night like this. I mean, obviously Fleetwood are going to have to go river deep and mountain high to try and get a result tonight.
Yep, Rod would like that one, the Motown shout-out. Leave a comment who sang that one, or could test our special guest this evening whether he'll know his Motown. And
Toby, come on, this is your chance, my mate.
What?
Who sang that?
Scott can give you another rendition of it if
no.
Sereno does well there. If you've got it in the chats, do let us know what Scott was referring to.
What's your thoughts on
ball in here? It's Kendrick, I think it was.
What's been your thoughts on the back three for us tonight?
I think we've been good. As we said, the whole team's been keeping the shape. But I think with Connor in that middle, he's got the communication side to it, and he'll help Raf out and Leo, and he'll drag him in. He'll tell him, and he'll tell him where to be.
That looked nasty. You can see by the reaction, and Roberts isn't making
too
much of a deal of it.
Was away. He'd actually done it. Why is Pelly being booked? Why is Pelly being booked there by?
It's for waving his hand in the air, which I thought we only really saw in the Premier League, but he's been, asking the referee to get his card out is why Smith has been booked as well as number 2. But again, Scott, that probably, if you're Roberts now, you're thinking, let's get at number 2 and
100%, absolutely, and they'll reinforce that in the dressing room at half-time. Yatesy and Pondy, as Crispin Strike wants.
Keepers come a long way, and like we saw with Belitzer in the last round, coming out to claim that. But
I'm not sure what the seven's writhing around for.
No, I think he's turned into Roberts there on the Roberts facing one way, the defender's the other way he's turned into, and there's nothing in that. But obviously, if you're not expecting it.
This will keep the fourth official, who I know very well, Andy Sykes, busy. He's out now, patrolling the technical area, wondering what's going on as we are. But Andy had a chat with him before the game. Great lad, Mr. Sykes. Not a bad referee as well. I'll give him that. But yeah, would you want to, as if you were obviously playing now, Toby, would you want to be seeing the half-time whistle? I know Fleetwood are just starting to get into it a little bit more, but do you think they'd take the half-time and just go, listen, let's regroup and reinforce and refocus? Yeah,
definitely. I think just see the game out now, get in, listen to what the coaches have got to say.
This is a crucial time, isn't it, in terms of the game? Both teams have had the chances, but you don't want to concede now, do you? Go into that dressing room for 15 minutes and dwell on it. If you can go in at 0-0, especially Fleetwood would be the happier, probably the two sides, just. But yeah, it's a key, probably, 2 or 3 minutes to go in this game until half-time?
For both teams, for varying reasons.
Yep.
Fleetwood will be delighted to go in at 0-0. Southampton will be frustrated to be 0-0, but will also think the management, the coaching staff will want to, if you like, reset. Fleetwood will want to refocus. But yeah, for sure, for different reasons, they'll probably both want the half-time whistle.
Comment on YouTube regarding the River Deep, Mountain High. Producer Rob, next to us, sung by Tina Turner.
Well,
originally.
Well, I thought it was Tina and Ike myself, but is it just Tina? Okay, no problem. He's the man in the know. It's no problem.
Stat man, producer. Probably not enough words to describe Rob.
We'll have a go at half time.
Yeah, we'll have that at home. But the fourth official has indicated 2 minutes, which you'll hear.
If ever you just want a minute. He's talking about half time for both teams. They put up 2. And the 2's off again.
Stretching the play, but the pass is just off. But you can see in that midfield what they're trying to do in there daily. Their number 8 just sitting deep, trying to dictate the play. Not been on the ball too much in this game, but we'll always look at it from the goalkeeper to try and open up and drive Fleetwood into their half to go long. But very tactical game this is so far. Header, which Michael Lane can't win. One that Smith wins the second one, but it's Six who picks that Moses Cisse. It's out to the number 5, Max Fry, who's got a bit of turn. Kendrick doesn't allow him back towards the goalkeeper, but he's allowed to drive forward. Pulled back in to the deep area. It goes into Matthews on this near side. He's got space to drive into on the in. He doesn't find his teammates. I
was just going to say then to Toby, who's impressed you for Southampton defensively just before half-time?
Like you said before, the two, he's up and down.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting forward as well, and he's also doing very well. Like just then getting into little pockets, but he's also getting forward, but he's also getting back.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think the two's impressed me a lot.
I suppose that's always the worry, isn't it, as a centre-back, when you've got one of those marauding full-backs, and listen, you love them getting forward, obviously, but when they don't get... But he's got back off his own accord, hasn't he, and been really impressive.
Yeah, fair play to him. He's working hard to get back in, so...
Yeah. What do you think the message will be for Fleetwood Town from the staff at half-time, Toby?
I think just settle down a little bit. I think they look very hectic, and when they're getting on the ball... I think just a bit of composure needs to be brought in, and just try and get a few passes in. And I also think we need to get Robbo on the ball a lot more. I think the games coming up to this game, he's been unbelievable, and his crosses that he's got and the deliveries. As a striker, I'd want Robbo on the ball every time, because I know that he'll find me.
Especially now that the two's obviously on a yellow card.
Yep.
So can they get him on the shoulder? Obviously, I think as a foot race, it would be unbelievable. It would be worthy of the Olympic final, wouldn't it? Robbo and the two. But if Robbo can get on the shoulder and maybe draw a little tug or a foul or, anything like that, then obviously the referee will have a decision to make. But yeah, I agree with you, Toby. You make a very, very good point there.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting second half, because I can't imagine there've been much to play, but it looks like there will be a substitute from what the linesman on this near side was saying, which is one you don't really want to make before the break.
I've got another question for Toby while we've got a little bit of a lull. Is obviously you were at Manchester United, and part of my job and my remit is to try and get players from other clubs under 16s in certain positions for where we need. So what advice would you give to others coming out of a club under 16, especially a big club?
I think leaving such a big club, you kind of get down, and especially with United being my boyhood club, you get down. But I think there's always going to be other clubs, and you're at United for a reason, or you're at a big club for a reason, and there's going to be other clubs that will want you, and they know that you've got the quality. But I also think me coming out from a big club like United, I expected a lot, because the facilities there are unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I got out of that quite quickly.
But in terms of the advice to give youngsters, obviously when you get that first offer from clubs, or I always use the analogy of, like, you wouldn't just pick the first house that you saw, would you? So, is it important you go and look at some clubs and others even when you get that offer? Yeah,
100%. You can't go to your first offer. You've got to go around, and you got to look at different teams and find what the right fit is for you. But the first club, it's very rare that it's going to be the right club for you. So you got to go around and explore and try and find that right club that's for you.
Yeah, well, we'll have a break. I'm not sure if you join us in the second half, Toby. I want to enjoy it away from us two.
Done well.
But yeah, very well. And wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you,
it's been
Toby.
great to have you on. But it is goalless here at Highbury in the FA Cup. Fourth round tie between Fleetwood and Southampton. We'll join you back very soon. Go and grab yourself a brew. It's chilly outside. I think that's what me and Scott will be doing, and maybe grabbing that famous chocolate orange from the fridge. Well, if it belongs in the fridge, that's another question. Yeah, so we'll join you back, have a break, and we'll see you very soon. Hello and welcome back to the stream. Very sudden there. We are missing Scotty Matt, but we've still retained Toby Oliver, which is great. I've put Toby live as well. Clock's going. Get nice and warm at the break, Toby.
Yeah, just had a few chats with the lads there about how Fleetwood have been playing, and same things as we've been saying. I think they all just need to settle down, get a few passes in. So we'll see what this half has to bring us.
Yeah, what do you think Mark Yates and Nathan Pond and the group down there have said to the players? Is it about maybe similar to the first half, that first 10-15 minutes, just try and stay in that game again?
Yeah, I think you want to settle into the half. But I think the main things they would have said is what I've been saying is try and settle down. I know Pondy definitely says that quite a lot.
Right, chance here for the visitors. It's gone into... Oh, it's a superb tackle again as... Just as Ollie Kinley looks to pull the trigger. It's a great defensive tackle there, but I think it was Thompson. And one, Toby, you'd have enjoyed that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a great tackle.
Like scoring a goal, isn't it, Toby?
Yeah.
Defenders.
100%.
Welcome Scott back. He's found his blanket to keep his legs warm. Doesn't bring any for us, though, which... selfish.
Fail to prepare.
Very true.
Prepare to fail.
Corner for Southampton. It's a crowded 6-yard box. It's headed back out. Chance for Belizzi to claim the ball. A wild swipe, it looks like, from the Southampton attacker, which Belizzi does well. And so composed when he's got the ball. We've got two former commentators behind us in George and in Caden. But, yeah,
I have to have a fans poll. Who's the?
I think Toby might be up there. With Devonport was very good. I'll give him.
He was.
Caden spoke well during the last game, but George, yeah, could have been better.
He's given a good performance in the first half, Toby, so far.
He has done. He has done. As Southampton have the ball, look to find their number 6, Moses Cisse, but Fleetwood get the possession now with McLean. Looks at that fancy back heel, doesn't quite come off, and it's a chance for Southampton to break. And a foul there, which he is probably lucky to get away with a yellow card there, stopping Southampton from going forward. But it's I
see the 18s come on.
Yeah, 18 for them came on just before the break. Yeah, I'd like to be prepared, Scott, with notes, just to... yeah.
I like it.
Chance here for the substitute to try and drive at Sereno. He's inside the penalty area. Probably favours that right foot if he's on it, but again, Sereno does so well. Doesn't dive in, wins the ball. It's a chance for Smith to break, but he's crowded out by 4 yellow shirts. Ball into the feet of the striker. A loose touch, but he gets away with the first one. Tries to drive through. Oh, it's Connor. Lovely.
He's got that from the Tamworth lad, hasn't he, at the weekend?
If he doesn't pick the man of the match award up just for that alone.
I was just going to say, actually, it's interesting because I thought Pelly should have done better there. He was surrounded by 3 players. He's got to get the ball out of for us. He's better than that, Pelly. He'll be disappointed, but Connor Hoy, take a bow. Toby Oliver, you'd have been proud of that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Connor's one of them players, though. He's very composed on the ball. And I bet he don't even think anything of it.
Probably not.
No, he's that kind of cat. Whenever I've spoke to him, Scott, he's so confident in his own ability and where he wants to be in his career that, again, moments like that pay off when you are confident within yourself.
Yes, and to be fair to Connor, he's always been confident. Since we identified him over in Northern Ireland, he's always been confident in his own ability. And within that, sometimes that confidence, you've got to be careful it doesn't spill over into overconfidence. And that's something as academy staff that we've been aware of. And now and again we will challenge him, especially in his first year scholaring, with nice feet.
Yeah, Southampton lots of break just inside, but I thought the referee could have played on there. It's a yellow card for Curry, but even the Southampton coach is asking why the referee didn't play on, because they've got away from this pocket of space in here and looked to exploit their right flank, but the referee.
I was just thinking then as well, Connor Hoy's family have flown over from Northern Ireland, spoke to his dad Martin in the crowd before. They can't wait for this game to finish so they can get over into the bars in Blackpool. They love it. So they'll be hoping for something to celebrate later on.
Yeah, definitely. Great to see. Again, I think we spoke about every stream. Fleetwood fans listening and watching us will probably be sick of it, but we'll come back to that in a second. It's loose there by Fleetwood and don't clear the danger. It's pulled back, but again, I think Sereno there reads the game superbly well, and a nice little flick by Lane, who goes ball out wide. It's just a little bit too far in front of Wilkinson, but it's Southampton who pick up possession. But yeah, going back to my point, it's great that families, whether it's Northern Ireland, different parts of England, the UK, that can get across and watch these games, because it's just a fantastic occasion all round.
Very much so, and I know obviously that the younger academy age groups will be here in the numbers tonight with the parents as well. It's a real family feel to the occasion. The academy obviously drives the Youth Cup and what it means to the club and the players and the staff, and get the parents involved. And yeah, listen, they travel from far and wide to come and support the lads, which is fantastic to see. And obviously you've got some first-team players in the ranks tonight. Can see Ryan Broom and
yeah, Bennett's there as well.
Yeah, Reece Bennett, obviously, who's played for this, played in this competition for Manchester United. And yeah, listen, first-team managers here, Pete Wild, and I know the first-team staff. Listen, you've even got Matt Lawler on the bench there, who is part of the first-team coaching staff now. He's on the bench there with Pondy and Yatesy to give them some, you know, maybe sounding board bits of advice, etc. So yeah, fantastic and very well supported, and so it should be, because I know Toby said at the start of the game, this is probably some of the lads' biggest game to date so far in the career.
100%. Chance to, well, Fleetwood reached the 5th round 2 years ago when they played Manchester City away. A very good first half performance by the Konami. Second half, Man City turned on the burners and got themselves into round 6. But it's Southampton. Now, you see a lot of defenders doing this, Toby, now, with the foot on the ball, waiting for that attacker to come towards. Is that a tactic to try and create a bit of space then for your teammates? Yeah,
definitely. You're trying to draw one of the players in, and that's going to open space up for someone else to go into. And you just want to draw them in, and as long as you've got players around you to bounce out and bounce around, yeah, it's definitely a tactic.
Loose by Southampton, which gives Fleetwood Town a corner. We saw one set piece, whether that was worked on the training ground, going short, looking to go short, but then firing at the near post, we will find out. But I'm sure Southampton would have done the homework with that set piece in the last round, being the difference against Burnley. Bodies, it's not as a crowded penalty area as it is down the other end, but with 1, 2, 6 or 5, should I say, in the penalty area, be looking to try and get through. But Southampton not allowing the short one in at the near post. It's headed away by, I think it was number 5, Fry, but they look to try and break, but Fleetwood again do very well. Wilkinson with a ball over the top. He's playing him on side there as the number 6, but he puts his arm up. And it should be another corner to Fleetwood, which the referee points to. And this good start.
Yeah, it was a fantastic delivery then. And do you know what? If it beats that defender who headed it clear, I think Rafa had beat his man and was going to have a head on goal, a free header on goal. Something obviously the staff will have worked on. I know Nathan Pond is trying to organise and get them in the right position to execute it.
Ball into the box, it eludes the defender. It's pulled out to Smith, and it's pulled, I believe it's a trigger, but it's got a touch from the Southampton defender, and this is what the start Mark Yates would have wanted from his team.
Yeah, I think for sure he'll have wanted them to go and sort of like create some more moments that they can maybe take some advantage, and set pieces will be a huge part of it as well, because obviously they're up. I mean, listen, it settled the last round, didn't it, against Burnley, so they're vitally important. So hopefully they can keep knocking at the door.
Ball whipped in, it eludes everyone. I'm hoping if you're obviously not watching the Premier League scores, Brentford Man City 0-0 with a minute to play. Chelsea 1 up against Bournemouth. West Ham beating Fulham 2-0, and 15 minutes into a big tie. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0.
Takes me back that, Sam. Nottingham Forest, Liverpool going at it.
Woods with the goal in the 8th minute.
Yeah, the Clough days, you know.
Oh, it doesn't quite find Wilkinson there, but it'll...
But yeah, fantastic to see. They've won it back.
Chance for McLean. It's over the crossbar, but Fleetwood enjoying probably the best spell of the game in these first 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, I think they've definitely come on to some instruction from the staff at half-time, and they're implementing it, because now it looks like Southampton are the ones who are obviously having a few questions posed of them defensively from set pieces, etc. And Fleetwood now seem to be a little bit more aggressive in the final third, trying to win the ball back. Obviously, Southampton's staff are now in discussion, possibly about changes, possibly about you know, how to kind of combat this Fleetwood team who have stuck diligently to the task.
Should be a foul in there, a late one from the number 8 on Wilkinson. We've probably seen more of Riley in the last 5 minutes than we probably did in the first half, but that's credit to Southampton. It's Roberts now on that far side, looking to drive at his man Matthews, but again the defender does superbly well to only concede a throw-in deep inside his own half, as a new ball is needed with the... I thought it went out, to be fair, but have to wait for that.
It's a lovely technique there by Mark Yates, wasn't it? He stroked the ball on there. Fantastic.
He wasn't a bad footballer, was he?
No, he was all right, Yatesy.
Again, someone who would have played in this competition himself and knows the importance of it during his days at Spurs.
Yeah.
Again, that must help the lads, especially someone who's been there and done that. But it's a chance for Smith now. Ball whips into the box. I thought he might have gone for a cross, but it looked like a shot shot actually. Toby, much better from Fleetwood, isn't it, in this second half? What, 12 minutes gone?
100%. They've come out on the front foot and they're putting Southampton under pressure. And I don't think Southampton for the past 5 minutes or so have got in our half, to be fair.
Yeah, nice clever move there by Southampton there. Looked to try and pull a player forward into that more defensive role, which allowed a bit of space for the left wing back to make that late run. Which the goalkeeper
he's been quite clever, the for Southampton, in terms of just getting a little a tug on Sam Kendrick, his shirt, and just putting him off balance a little bit. Again, well done, Mikey Lane.
But again, loose touch, shall we say? It looked like a slightly loose touch from McLean. But again, first in there is Thompson, but it's maybe a little bit rash there, Toby, to dive in, because the defender's got his back towards him.
Yeah, I think he's gone to go and intercept it, but I think you just got to, like I said before, just keep an arm's length and send him back.
Is that clever from the attacker, though, or naive from the defender, do you think, on that instance?
I think a bit of both. It's a bit naive from the defender to go and jump in, but I think it's smart for the attacker to go down.
It's tough for Leo there, isn't it? Because he doesn't want him to get a run on him. A lot of space in behind him as well.
Chance for Southampton here. Robinson in the box. It's pulled back. He can't give a foul away, can Roberts? He's got to just force his man back if he can, which he does. McLean now looks to put a bit of pressure on Matthews on that far side. He can't allow that cross to come into the box, which it does. It's overhit and out for a goal kick. 58 on the clock.
Liam Roberts there, just wrong side of his man, wasn't he, Toby? We got away with it, but he recovered just in the nick of time.
Yeah, I think he's done well. He's got back in and he's made sure his man has gone back, and I think he's done his job there.
If you wonder what that rattling is, Scott's enjoying a packet of Chris. I won't say the brands, but there are many out there. Back to the game. Coming up to 59 on the clock. Still goalless, waiting for that opening goal in this game, but it's a lively contest so far. There's a chance now for Fleetwood. It's a good ball down the line to Kendrick, but again, superb defending by Moore on this near side, who gets in front of his man, but on that lane looks like to close down, and Wilkinson looks to get forward. Potential penalty. Does he get the ball? We can't see what...
I'm not sure he just got there in front of him, but...
He's not making too much of a moan, is he? Which probably indicates that he has got a bit on the ball before getting the man, but...
Close.
And then he gives that one.
Just referring back to you. Oh, we've won it.
I thought he was going to go for the dink, but it's a lane, long-range effort. But he's moaning at the referee for having a look. If you're on watching the stream, you can see a replay of this. Just giving the ball away.
He did.
I think that's close. That from the angle, one that.
Interesting.
Again, he's not giving it, so we don't have VAR.
We've won it again.
These will be giving Fleetwood confidence, isn't it? He tried another Maradona turn there, did He can't get too overconfident in those areas, but Fleetwood have done well. It's Curry now, looking to drive at his man, but can't quite find that gap yard to get forward. But this is much better from Fleetwood, Scott.
It is massively, and by the way, Southampton are slightly playing into our hands as well, which is helping us. But Harvey Curry there, take your space. Like, you don't need to stop, just keep going. And just referring back to your admission there of what I was doing, Sam, do you think Gary Neville and Martin Tile don't have sweets and treats while they're commentating?
Probably mute themselves when they're doing it. I can't say anything. I've got
unprofessional.
Fleetwood with possession of the ball, an hour gone on the clock. It's with Serino now. Looks to try and find one of his teammates, but eludes both of them down on this near side.
And again, just to bring Toby in here, if you're Mark Yates or the coaching staff or the players in this game now, you're looking going, it's an hour, it's 0-0. You start to gain more confidence and momentum from that, don't you?
Yeah, and I think Yates will be thinking that they've got a real good chance here now, especially with the way they've came out. And I think Southampton, they've come out and they've been a bit sloppy. And it's helping us out, but I think we were also on the front foot.
I think he's onside there if he gets there first.
That did look tight, the whistle.
Yeah. That one did look tight. I thought he timed it right, did the forward, which he finishes off nicely, but it still goes with a free kick for Fleetwood inside their own half with the linesman's flag up on the far side. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. So, just trying to think now is in terms of changes for either side, who blinks first? I mean, does Southampton try and freshen it up?
Yeah,
do they keep going with it, or
obviously they made one just for half time with their number 10, Rohart Brown, going off with Digba coming on. But yeah, when you look at Fleetwood, you've got potentially someone in midfield with Jacks coming there. Yep. Lucas Taylor's made an impression, hasn't he, when he's come on in games?
Absolutely.
Harry Elmore, again, one of those players to give you that energy. Yeah, you probably know a bit more of the lads more than me, so in terms of what you would do.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I've had a little bit of a premonition, which I've shared with the player. I think Lucas has got a goal in him tonight if he comes on, Lucas Taylor. And I told him that in the dressing room before. I've just got a funny feeling that something's going to fall for that boy tonight if he comes on.
He's got the ball there, I think, as Serino, but the referee deals with that differently. Yeah, a player that started in the Tamworth game, Reece Wilkes, obviously one that probably is missing out a name. He's got an injury. Yeah, he's been had injuries and illnesses in recent weeks. So, yeah, he's a miss, isn't he? Because he's a player like McLean who can create a little bit of spark.
Yeah, Reece is in and around the England squads at under 16, so he's a miss. But like with anything, and Toby knows, sometimes opportunity, arises, and that's what happens in football across all sort of age groups. Even obviously, Toby will tell you that you get your chance usually in the first team because of someone's unfortunate situation. Obviously, it's usually an injury, which we don't want, but that's when you tend to get your chance, or an injury crisis. Young players will get that opportunity. Caden Hughes being one.
Definitely, I think that's one. The referee there is let Fleetwood off with one there because it looked like Southampton were through. He's not played the advantage like he has done a few times in the first half, the referee. And they were through inside the 18-yard box. One that you probably might be able to win. The manager shouting in front of us, asking why there was a stoppage in play, but it will be a free kick for the visitors in a very dangerous area.
Just a slight bit of frustration coming from the Southampton bench as well, which is understandable.
Ball whipped in high into that far, got to head away from danger, one that Kendrick's got to do as well, and he does high down the pitch, and the bounce just beats McLean. It's a nice turn by the number 11, Jay Robinson. Possession with the away side as they just go back inside their own half. Fleetwood again being compact in the zones, not allowing them to break the lines as much as they probably were in the first 10-15 minutes of this cup tie. Coming up to 65 minutes, still goalless here. Ben Gunn says, come on the fisherman. And we've also got Robert Daly who's watching the stream today, I'm assuming relation to Ashton. So thank you for watching this. And Yeah, I'll let you decide whether that was onside or offside. But it did look very close, Mark.
I think what's interesting as well is Southampton, they're obviously having the ball at the back, and then they start trying things, and then because Fleetwood's shape and discipline is so good, you know, they've knocked a few balls a little bit too long there, and they've just ran through, and it's testament to Fleetwood. I know Southampton have got to try different things, but I think that indecision and that frustration comes from the other team being so disciplined out of possession.
No, it's
Brilliant
super tackle again. Smith goes in the second one. McLean tries to win the third one. Smith, which is
I thought that was a little nick on him. Yeah, the referee's seen it.
That was hurt, especially when it's a bit chilly in the air. Then one's on top of your boots. Do hurt a little bit.
Well, especially when they're wearing those shin pads that look like they've come out of a Sabutio box these days, Toby. What's going on with them, my mate?
It's all comfort for players nowadays, isn't it?
So you're a big shin pads, then about that, I guess you're a smaller shin pad player.
No, I'm actually a bit. Well, I'm medium.
Is there a medium size?
As a centre back, can't be wearing small shirts.
That's true.
Yeah. Breaks, Kendrick. Get something, Sam.
If he can get something, he's got options behind with Curry. He's got ball into the box, which isn't the worst ball. And Smith, he's got the technique. Fired left foot. Wilkinson at strike at goal, but it's a good save by Dylan Moody in between the sticks.
He'll have wanted to get a better connection. Obviously, he got that on his foot, and he would have wanted to just strike through it a little bit more and wider to the keeper's right, so he would have had to really make a save.
Ben did ask you a question, is there extra time or is there a replay? And it will go to extra time, and then if the same goal, well, same scoreline, should I say, then it will go to penalties. So this tie will be decided on the night with the draw for the fifth round already made. So the winners this tie do know who they could play. He's done well to get away from that, which nice bit of trickery, but referee plays advantage, none played, and it's going to be a Southampton free kick midway inside Fleetwood's half.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit where you're thinking now, where will the change? Do I need to make something happen from the bench? Start looking at minutes and tiredness. I know that the sports scientists will be obviously communicating into the staff as to where they think they're at, or what their eyes are telling Pondy and Yates, who's looking a little bit leggy out there, or you know, who's walking a tightrope discipline-wise with the yellow cards. A little bit of cramp creeping in for Southampton players.
Shouldn't be really happening at, what,
no,
67 minutes, should it?
Absolutely not. And Fleetwood, again, that for me, if I'm on there as a Fleetwood player, that gives me a little boost. It does. Use every little psychological advantage you can. But obviously, you're going to go into an area 70-plus minutes where you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose it now.
Yeah, just over 20 minutes to go in this cup tie, still goalless. A chance for both coaches and managers to get some valuable information into them with coming to that crucial time in the game. We'll see what they've got up the sleeves. Good to get some water on, keep hydrated. Very mist is slowly coming back into the ground.
It is.
But yeah, just a word. You look at the goalkeeper union down there, Rio, Cragg and Ollie Belizia, a young coach who's stepped into some big shoes in the academy, Scott, but again, he's put himself out there. He's done the minutes on the training ground as well as courses, and it's great to see that he's been given this chance to put his own stamp on the goalkeeping.
Yeah, and that's, you know, synonymous with how Fleetwood Town are as a football club. They give opportunities to people, not just players. They give it to people, and Rio's is a fantastic story because obviously we brought Rio in at under 14. He was at Manchester United like Toby. You know, and Rio will be the first to admit he was technically very good, but he struggled with the complexities of having to perform. But listen, we worked with him. The various departments and psychologists worked with him, and he got to a level where he got a scholarship, got a first-year pro. I think he's also represented Jamaica. And obviously now his journey came to an end in terms of on the pitch. And we identified that technically, and obviously the information that he had, we could turn him into a potential coach. And I think I'm right in saying that now he's been appointed. I think he's the youngest goalkeeping coach in the country, which, again, he's, you know, listen, he will tell you that he's got a lot of work to do still, haven't we all? But it's a great story.
But being alongside Owen von Williams, who has been at the club and played so many games himself, that's someone great to have feedback with and have that constructive criticism, whether it's a point of coaching in his early days or helping him develop. He's got a good unit behind him, hasn't he?
Absolutely, and Rio will have worked with a lot of good goalkeeping coaches. Lean Kendall, who was here, great guy, great coach. Obviously Fonners, top draw. You know, and Rio will have seen a lot in his young career, you know, obviously at Manchester United. And yeah, like you say, Fonners is a great lad, and that's fine. But he's also a very good coach as well. So yeah, great
definitely.
news for Rio as well. I'm delighted for him.
Echo the words of Scott there. Southampton free kick towards the back post. It comes off the number 5, which I think Sereno jumped as well, but missed it out for a goal kick. 71 minutes on the clock. 0-0 between the two sides. Who will be making that next move? Will it be the visitors to try and put some fresh legs into their midfield? It looks like number 6, Moses Cisse, is just struggling a little bit, whether it is with that cramp or just lack of minutes in his legs.
Just wondering there, Sam, on the sort of like stream, is there any request for other work from me and you, or is it a bit quiet?
A bit quiet, to be fair. Yeah, it's we'll get there eventually. Yeah. Keep prodding along.
I know Match of the Day are looking for a new presenter with Mr. Lineker departing. So.
Well, the type of crisps that you're eating, then there's a definite deal on the cards there. Yeah, you never know. Another free kick, very similar position to moments ago for Southampton. 72 minutes played. It is there. It's going to be one moment, isn't it, Toby, that probably decides this game, and yeah, it's probably going to take something special to unlock the score here.
Yeah, 100%. I think both teams are doing very well defensively, and I think it's just going to take that little bit of moment of magic to put whatever team ahead.
From a defensive point of view now, Toby, is it just making sure, from our angle, is it making sure that Connor and his back line just stay focused, concentrating, making sure people are picked up, no little, errors of judgment in terms of picking up the players that they know who they're picking up by now, obviously? Yeah,
definitely. I think getting into this last 20 minutes, I think the VOD's just got to be switched on, and communication has to be loud. They've got to be on the line. But no, I think now they really need to be switched on here now.
Is it tough, Scott, in terms of coaching, that is one eye on potential extra time if it does go the full way, or do you just have to play the 90 minutes plus?
Yeah, I think you've got to have in the back of your mind, but like you say, it's very difficult. You're in the moment down there, aren't you? You can't be like now. Is penalties in the back of your mind? No,
I don't think so.
You know it could go to penalties, but that's for later down the line. I think at the moment he'll be more concerned about, like what me and Toby have mentioned there, about is everyone still doing the job, and where can they kind of maybe well done.
Just the ball, but it falls to. Can't get a strike off at goal, but it's going to be a chance for Fleetwood into that corner. No, it doesn't quite go in. The angle deceiving for us in the commentary position, but again, Fleetwood trying to capitalise on those little mistakes that are creeping into Southampton's game. It's a lovely crossfield pass, one that Thompson has to deal with, and Sereno's got to have one eye over his shoulder here on the number 11 as Southampton look for that cross in the box, and again, lack of quality in the final third from both teams.
I'll tell you what I will mention there, and it's not lost on me, is the ball broke then. Southampton obviously fantastic pace around the team. Fleetwood's recovery throughout the team. Then you had Pele Smith, Riley Wilkinson, Harvey Curry, Crispin McLean, Liam absolutely sprinting back, which is absolutely brilliant. There looks like there's a little bit of a change
young
coming.
Young Jake, sorry, should I say?
Jake.
See where he comes into the fray here.
Possible for Leo Thompson maybe struggling. I don't know, but
that's a lovely dink over the box.
Ollie has started.
It goes into the box. We couldn't quite see. It's the number 18, Silla.
Ollie started to come then. Ollie Beliza, and then
Diagba
stopped.
Yeah, that hesitation there probably just caused him not to get onto the ball, but it's 1-0 to Southampton there. And Toby, just probably a little bit hesitant there in terms of the defensive and the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I totally agree. He was in two minds. He didn't know whether to come or not, and he's ended up coming, but it's a bit too late.
Fleetwood have to react with 15 minutes to go in the game. There's going to be a substitute for the Karami. Be number...
It's Finn Hazelden.
Finn, sorry, it looked like Jay, but it's going to be Finn to come on the pitch for number 8, Sam Kendrick. Put in a huge graft out there, Scott, and had some moments himself, but he'll be pleased what he's done so far.
Absolutely. Listen, Sam's an under 16. Who's recently been awarded a scholar, so he'll be absolutely delighted. It's a bonus for him to be involved. So yeah, but listen, the lad finished that well. He had a kind of a moment, and he chose the right execution of finish, which was to lob Blazer. Ollie will be disappointed. I'd have to watch it back. Was there a communication breakdown? I don't know, but from my eyes, I just saw Ollie obviously start to come and stop.
Is he maybe thinking the ball's going to continue to come through to him? I don't know if that's in his mind or not. He'll know, I guess.
I think he hesitated because he thought, I'm not going to get that. Or he sees the striker and think he's quick. But you just want Fleetwood to just hang in now so they don't concede that second with 15 minutes to go. And if they just regroup now, they can go and try and throw the kitchen sink, so to speak, at Southampton, try and get that equaliser. That's what they'll obviously be thinking now. They've obviously got Finn on, who's also an under 16. He's also just been awarded a scholar, and Finn is obviously very, very quick. So they'll be looking to get him going forward.
It doesn't quite get out his feet. Probably got
Harvey. Harvey's been booked.
Second.
I thought he'd been booked, yeah.
Yellow for Harvey Curry. That means Fleetwood will be down to 10 men, and that might potentially change.
Yeah.
Mark Yates' decision here, but it looks like he's still going to go ahead with it, with one change going to be Riley Wilkinson off, and it's going to be
just frustrating that, because it's ill discipline. He's tried to beat the man. He's got it wrong. That's fine. We can accept that. We've got enough bodies behind the ball. He's not the last man. He's 70 yards, 80 yards from goal, and Harvey's just had a little tug at him. It's a bit reactive, I get it, but he's got to manage the game, hasn't he, Toby, there, and think, for the greater good, I can't afford it. The lad's going nowhere.
Still chance for Fleetwood. They've had their moments in this game with 78 minutes gone on the clock. Obviously, it'll be a bit harder now with one less player on the pitch. Southampton could easily freshen things up here and make it.
Finn.
Ball whipped into the box. It's great
boys.
defending there by Max Fry, who gets on the end there, because it looked like it was going to be a Fleetwood body to get on the ball first, but a corner, a chance for Fleetwood to get themselves back into this one.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like I was just saying there, Toby, it's frustrating, isn't it? But obviously within that area of where it was. I mean, listen, there'll be no one more disappointed than Harvey. I'm not for 1 second saying, it's a massive blame, but it'd just be frustration that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great ball into the boxes. Don't think there was any fouls.
Desperate to be headed on that.
No, not in there. Throw in for Southampton.
What's your thoughts now, Toby? We're 1-0 down. There's 10 minutes plus injury time. Is it when do we start throwing caution to the wind? When do we start potentially looking at another body up front, or a little bit more gung-ho?
I think this is where it's going to show the lad's character. Big, massive. Now I think got 10 minutes to go, and they're a man down. I think character now is so important from a lot of the lads. So.
A definite foul in there, which
I thought he was going to give that, and I thought it was.
I'm not sure why thought he won the ball, but go on.
Yeah, what's really interesting as well is that they're going to break here.
Chance for the goal scorer to drive at Sereno. He's can go both ways, but Fleetwood have covered that one out, but it's a chance on his right foot. It's a superb tackle. Second one, wicked deflection. Southampton find themselves 2 goals to the good. And again, Scott, that potentially comes from a free kick that's not given down the other end.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because Fleetwood will think that should have been a free kick. And obviously, Connor Hoy makes a fantastic tackle inside the box as well. And then obviously it just breaks to the striker who puts his foot through it, and it's deflected. And it's obviously very unfortunate. And obviously now it's, it's a huge mountain to climb. But Fleetwood will be very disappointed in terms of the goal being a deflection. And I'd have to watch the free kick back. On my first instinct, it looked like the referee went to blow his whistle for the free kick on Jack Doherty. But like I said, they're trying to hang in there, like Toby mentioned, the character, because you don't want 1 to become 2, which it has done now, and they've still got 10 minutes to go, whereas at 1-0, you're thinking to yourself, we might be able to force an equaliser.
Yeah, 2 changes for the visitors. Joshua Pitts comes on to replace Moses Cisse with number 14, James Martin, coming on to the field of play as well. So that's the 2 changes for the Saints as they found themselves 2 goals ahead in this cup tie, 4th round FA Youth Cup. Fleetwood again got to show that character which Toby was on about before. A few Southampton fans in the stream enjoying seeing their side 2 goals to the good. Again, what do you do now, Scott, as a Fleetwood player? Is it try and keep yourself in it and some respect, but you've got to go for it, haven't you? On the
we've got to try and get back into the game. It was this. I suppose it's a little bit similar. At some point they have to try and force a goal back. Before it was an equaliser. Now they just need to get a goal so they can get back to that footing of, can we force an equaliser? But listen, moments change games, as we know. And, if we were to, I don't know, win a penalty, win a free kick, or, get a goal from a corner, then the dynamic will change.
Oh, it doesn't quite fall for Hazard there, but they keep pushing Fleetwood with the likes of Lane, McLean going up into the final third, but Southampton probably doing what they do best in terms of keeping possession, winding down the clock with 7.5 minutes to go plus added on time here at Highbury Stadium. Keeper goes long, one that Fleetwood have to win. Smith gets on it, but again the touch is just away from him as he looks to guide his team back into this cup clash, as it's now wide to Robinson, who again looks to get at Sereno. Fleetwood look tired in these areas. He's going to go on his left, but he's gone on his right. Touch at goal, and again it's a superb solo effort. Fleetwood looking deflated at the moment, but Southampton, again a moment of magic there, Toby, from the forward.
Yeah, it's very good. I think Raf will be annoyed there. It's a little bit lucky. Yep. I think Raf just needs to show him line.
Do you think he might have been able to get a little bit tighter before he got inside the box?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think once he gets in the box, he's just got. He can't come inside. You've got to show him line.
Yeah.
It shows the attacker less of the goal, and gives the goalkeeper more of a chance.
But having said that, it's a great individual run. Yeah. Bit of brilliance to go one way to come inside, and then obviously he gets the finish as well. But now it's starting to look like 3-0. You don't want it to go away. I don't think it's a 3-0. It's a fair reflection of the game. I don't suggest for 1 minute Fleetwood have deserved to win, but I think that it'd be mega harsh to think that Fleetwood haven't earned the right to still be in the game with the last 10 minutes on to go.
Just a word on number 2. I know we spoke highly of the right back Toby this evening, but he comes off replaced by Swell, number 12. But he's been impressive for you, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, he was very smart when he was going forward, but he also had that work rate to get back in. And as a centre back, you love that. If you're gonna have a player next year that's going forward and going and enjoying himself and getting forward and stuff, you need him to be getting back in and have that work rate. And I think he's done that very well. Looks
like Fleetwood making potentially two changes for the end of the game. Elmore and Jake Doherty. Look like they're going to come on. Fleetwood still going to press forward. Coming up against a very strong Southampton side who beat Swansea 2-0 in the third round to set up this tie with the Karami, and they do sit currently second in their Premier League.
And again, let's be clear, Southampton will be looking at this as a competition that they should be going very, very deep in. Potential winners. I know obviously there's been some bigger clubs knocked out, Liverpool for one. So listen, Southampton will look at the next round at home and think to themselves they've got a real chance of getting into the last 8, the 6th round. And obviously, as you know as well as me, so once you start getting into that part of the competition, then anything is possible. But yeah, this football club, Southampton, will be very sort of like aware that their record in the Youth Cup may be better.
Yep.
I know it's been dominated by Manchester City and Chelsea and the like for many years, Manchester United, Liverpool. So with the odd team winning it here and there. But listen, Southampton will want to be getting to the final of this.
Yeah, looking at the 3 changes there, it was Raf Serino, Chris McLean and Pele Smith being replaced by Jake Doherty, Harry Elmore and Josh Eccles. So again, some minutes in the cup, but that's what we've not seen enough of Roberts in this game. He looks to get past 2 or 3, but not the final one who stands firm to not allow
good defending,
the tricky winger to get through. And again, probably a foul there, referee's not given, at least consistent in those areas.
How frustrated will they be tonight, Toby, the players? Because obviously I don't think 3-0 is a fair reflection, with the greatest respect. How frustrated will they be from that first goal into the second goal, or even just the first goal?
Yeah, they're going to be gutted. I think with the first 2 goals, I think they're a bit scruffy, and they weren't. They can be avoided, if you know what I mean.
I totally agree with you.
Obviously, the third goal is good play from the attacker, but I think from the first 2 goals, they'll be gutted.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to lose and you get beat by a goal worthy of winning the game, it softens it slightly. But I totally agree with you, Toby. I think that they'll be disappointed when they go back and watch it and think that's so avoidable, especially the first one.
Yeah, 100%.
Southampton looking to, as I said before, wind down the clock with just under 2.5 minutes to play plus stoppage time. Fleetwood will continue to put in that graft as one of the goal scorers. Diagba doesn't win himself anything down in this corner. It'll be one for
by Josh Eccles.
Eccles, as Scott says, to throw the ball back onto the pitch, try and find lane, but never going to win that against the tall defender. And it's a free kick for Fleetwood deep inside their own half. 2 minutes to go of normal time. Again, it's been Southampton have known for probably 70 minutes that they've been in a cup tie here. It's not been plain sailing for him. Again, like I said, probably moments change games. And
I totally agree that they will know that there's been a tough place to come, and if they do go on, they'll probably look back at this performance where they had to dig in. Breaking again.
It's a nice bit of trickery. They'll try and get that fourth, but it's always going wide, that one.
Let's not get away from as well that it's an incredible achievement again by Fleetwood Town to reach the 4th round, which is becoming a bit of a habit now. It's year on year, which is testament to the players and the staff and everyone at the club. It's not just about the coaches. They obviously do the majority of the work, but there's so many more staff that are unsung heroes, people at the accommodation who look after the boys, the player care, the psychology. We can go on and on, but my point being that Fleetwood Town reaching the 4th round pretty much every year is some achievement in itself. And when they play these bigger clubs like Liverpool last year, they know that they've been in a game when they come to play us.
But I don't mean to be disrespectful. Is that Fleetwood overachieving in terms of getting to the 4th round, 5th round of this competition, or?
To a degree, yes. But when it's happening consistently, I think you've got to look and go, well, they clearly have got some very, very good, talented staff. Not players, talented players, and obviously there's something that's obviously working there. So yeah,
it's a thunderbolt and gets probably a bit lucky there. Does Belizzi trying to save that one? And it goes onto the crossbar, but might have needed that luck a little bit early in the game. But there will be, excuse me, 5 minutes added on in this FA Youth Cup fourth round tie between Fleetwood and Southampton. Going to be a corner for the visitors as they'll probably.
And you're just looking, aren't you? And if you mark Yates, you probably think to yourself, why didn't that happen for the first one? Just like glance off his shoulder or something, and do you know what I mean? But again, they'll pick themselves up. Obviously, they've got a lot of the season left, and obviously some of them looking to try and get professional contracts. Well recovered, Josh.
Could have gone.
But yeah,
corner.
listen, still plenty to play for, and it's hard, isn't it, Toby? Because it is such a big night for them. But they've got to be able to bounce back. That's part and parcel of the journey as well, isn't it? Bouncing back from disappointments like tonight.
Yeah, like you said, they've got a big game and they're going to be gutted, but they could have a game next week and they're going to have to start focusing on that. So, like you said, you've got to try and get over it quickly.
Yeah. Talking of unsung heroes, I've got three to the left of me here. Becky Lawler, there's an unsung hero, if ever I've seen one, putting up with Matt. Anyway, and obviously Jodie, Super Jodie, who works in every part of the club. Pulfoot, Highbury, and then Super Ange. Looking quite delightful tonight, Ange, with the old scarf on. She looks after the lads at the accommodation. Looks after stroke mothers. Does a great job, our Ange. Along with the other girls there.
What are we, 1 minute 42 into the additional 5 minutes. Again, Fleetwood just showing that character not to concede that fourth.
No.
Not Southampton again, just showing the reason why they're second in the league and one of the best academies in the country, as Scott alluded to before about the Theo Walcotts, Gareth Bales, there's no Adam Lallana's coming through there, so many great players.
Yeah,
and
fantastic setup down there as well. And obviously we know Duncan Fernhead, who was academy manager at Accrington Stanley. He's now down at Southampton. I spoke to him before the game. So, yeah, listen, an incredible football club, Southampton, steeped in history. And always had young players. I mean, I remember back in when I was young, I was going to say when I was a lad, but when I was young, and they had the Wallace brothers, you know. So they've always produced young players, Southampton. And obviously the likes of Alan Shearer, who went down there and obviously started to make his name down at Southampton. Matt Le Tissier, we can go on, but obviously the modern day ones would be Bale and Walcott, the standout.
Luke Shaw was there, wasn't he? He come through the ranks.
Shaw, yeah.
That team Shaw. In Southampton, the early, I don't know what you call it, actually, the era of that. It's what, noughties, and I'm not sure what the other one after that, but yeah, some great talent. Harry. But Fleetwood had their own talent, and one of those players which I guess you could say came through the academy was CJ, got his move to Peterborough.
Yeah, delighted for him.
Yeah, good lad, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Oh, diamond, utter diamond. And you know, like I've mentioned to some people, if I think him and Dylan Boyle and the likes, Barry Bagley, who came over from Ireland very early on in the academy birth, you know, should take a huge amount of credit that they shaped this academy in terms of the culture. And CJ definitely ranks up there. Unbelievable as a person, as a human being, and you know, whilst I'm very, very, very happy for him, I was also very sad to see him go.
Yeah, wish him all the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peterborough. Again, might give a chance for someone else to step through the academy and do what CJ has done for many years and be a constant in the starting.
That's
11.
the challenge, isn't it, Toby? Let's hope it's you, my mate.
Is, yeah.
Well, the communication skills have been boosted by being on comms, so yeah. chance for Southampton to drive forward. They've got about 10 seconds left on the clock, but again, like I said to Scott, Toby, they've been in for a game, but they've shown the class in the last 20 minutes, haven't they, Southampton, to see the game out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Went a long way, travelled a long way there.
Free kick to Southampton. I thought the referee might have blown his whistle there and ended the match. But again, another proud moment, Scott, for the academy and what they've not done, not just in this game, but obviously started off a Wigan victory, Tamworth, and then Burnley in the round 3. But yeah, we can't be looking at the negatives, can we?
No, not at all. You've got to be positive. It's part of the journey. It's part of the learning as well. The obviously the disappointment, the defeat. You know, trying to put this behind them and go on to the bigger picture. And again, yeah, listen, they've more than done themselves proud over the course of the competition up to date. And obviously tonight, Southampton, you know, deserved to go through, but for 65 minutes, 70 minutes, you know, there wasn't a lot in it. Fleetwood will obviously look back at the chances, be disappointed they didn't convert one when it was 0-0.
Yeah, Toby, final words from you. I'll let you jump off because it's been great to have you. But your thoughts on the game? Probably the better side went through, didn't they?
No, like I said before, they'll be absolutely gutted, but I can't fault their effort. I think every single one of them have all contributed something, and their effort to getting back in, like we said earlier on. But no, they'll be gutted, but I can't fault their effort. So
yeah, echo what you've said, and they'll go and see the family and friends now and have that moment, because it is a special moment regardless of the outcome, to be playing at Highbury Stadium. But Toby, I'll let you jump off, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you for the 90 minutes. If you're watching the stream still, we'll put the highlights on there so you can watch the key moments of the game. But Toby, it's been fantastic. I'm sure Scott will agree, and a great insight to have you from a defensive point of view.
Yes,
taught me
absolutely.
a few things as well.
Been a pleasure, Toby.
cheers, yeah,
wish you all the best of the season. Yeah,
Thanks,
perfect. Well, that was Toby Oliver, joined Fleetwood in the summer. I'm sure you'll see him around the building if you're a Fleetwood Town fan, and yeah, he'll be looking to try and claim his place in the first team in the near future. I'm sure about that. But as we look now, moments down there, like Scott was disappointed, but got to be happy with what they've done in the competition once again. Yeah,
absolutely. And Mark Yates, when he obviously digests it, will be very, very proud of the players and the staff. You know, obviously, first and foremost, disappointing about the result. Of course it is. And I think the scoreline doesn't reflect the kind of the close nature of it. I mean, I'm not saying that they've struggled to a 1-0 victory by any means. You know, Southampton had some quality tonight, to say the least. And, you know, like I said, they'll probably be looking at trying to win the competition. Whereas, listen, our record is the 5th round, and we're proud of that on 2 occasions. And this season we've reached the 4th round again. Yeah. And listen, when we kind of debrief and analyse what we're very, very proud of it.
Yeah, echo them. We'll leave everyone to it, but it's been great to be streamed to so many of you. Really appreciate the comments in the chat. But yeah, wish Southampton all the best in the rest of the campaign. In the 5th round, we'll see how far they get in the competition. But Scott, as ever, it's been a pleasure of mine to have you by my side for the FA Youth Cup. Hopefully
Likewise.
Next year we'll go that one step further and reach the 5th round. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Yeah, see if there's any more Chris you can open before we... on that note, yeah, enjoyed the highlights on the stream. We'll let Scott go and chat to all the people he knows in the stadium, and yeah, we'll be back very soon for more streams as well, so stay tuned for any under-21s games that might be on the channel for commentary and some of the key moments. So yeah, exciting times for the academy despite the result tonight. But Southampton go through to the 5th round after winning 3-0 at Highbury Stadium. I've been Sam Fielding. It's been a pleasure. Good night.